What's up, guys? So I'm here to give you guys some training tips. So what I want to first start off with, because a lot of players have a lot of trouble with this, as far as positioning and when to run it. So I'm gonna do it as if I'm on the weak side, because I know a lot of players have a hard time adjusting to the weak side versus the power side. So I'm gonna just do it as a weak side person perspective. So I put cones on the court. The two cones in the front, indicates the offense, and the back team indicates the defense, okay? So if the yellow cone is a power side player who's serving the ball to you and you're on the weak side, a lot of people tend to do this, and I'm gonna show you. No. That's the wrong thing to do. This is the proper way to do it, because I always say it's a long way and it's a short way. That's the long way that you're approaching the shot. What you should be doing this. That's the proper way to do it. Because the power side player should have the middle, and you should be able to get your positioning by running around the outside of the line, so that way you can get in front of the volley. Look where I'm at. I'm back here, so no one I'm able to get in front of him. And I can't make a play at the ball. So those are easy points that the offense is generating because of my lack of position. You see what I just did? I moved around, and then of course it comes with eye coordination, and you have to look at the body language of your opponent to see where they're gonna hit the ball. But it's your job and duty to get in position and be ready for the next shot that's gonna come to you, okay? And I always tell players, if you're behind the player, you're playing defense. So now it's my job here on the weak side I have to get in front of the weak side player. So that's why I showed you before we need to run outside in order to get in position and be ready for the ball to be on offense, okay? See the difference? When you get in front, you're able to get those killers that you were unable to get by standing behind. So you have to get in position. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate on when you in the front blocks. So now I'm going to illustrate when you in front, how to keep your hands up. So that way, a lot of times people are afraid to stay in front because they scared to get jammed. So I'm going to show you how to progress. Number one, you want to first worry about just putting the ball back on the court. Then you're going to progress into number two, which is now you're going for maybe smarter shots. You're not going for no angles and no winners. You're just going for a better defense shot to push your opponents more on offense.
Types of lobs?
Yeah, some lobs, some shots in front of you by your body. We're going to do those. That's the second stage. And then the third one, we're going to actually start going for winners off the same power and the shots that they're giving you. So those are 3 stages we're going to elevate to. So the beginner, let's just put the ball back on the wall, all right? Okay, so now we're gonna progress into the lob. So we did the passing lob body, now we're gonna actually do a lob that's a defense. Okay, so your lob is your best friend. I think the lob is my favorite one to hit. No, I'm lying. Maybe the one in front of me. But the lob is good because now it pushes your power side player. Whoever's on the power side player on the opposite team, they have control of the game. So now you gotta find a way to push them back so that way your power side player get in front and control the game. So that's the purpose of the lob, push them back a little bit. Okay, so now the stage 3 of the positioning and what to do when you're in front. So now when you elevate it from the beginning stage of just putting the ball back on the wall, and then the second stage is now actually keeping the ball by your body and throwing lobs up that we just did. Now the third one is the intense one. Now you're going for your shots. So now you're seeing the ball more sharper, quicker, and faster. So now you're able to now react more quicker. I'm anticipating the power. I'm anticipating the power to come at me. Because that's 9 times out of 10 what the power side player does. Drill that ball at the weak side player or whoever's on court that's in front to get the easy setup. How can you counter that and still be on offense and effective? So now, I'm gonna demonstrate the up the line because that's called the passing shot, where the player is already in front and you owning that. When I tell you owning the position, now you'll be able to just now change it up the line, passing shot up the right line, okay? Utilize it. So in order to hit the up the line shot, you have to be, I want to say maybe 2 feet from the line, 2 feet, if that makes it sideways. So that's where I'm going to stand. Okay, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to show you the up the line shot. And let's say, if the cone is your opponent, I'm gonna show you how to still get in position, and still go for that up the line window, okay? Okay, so now this one, in this exercise, we're gonna now work on the spike. Okay, everything that I do, I start from the beginning. You want to really start with no power at all in all your shots. When you're trying to learn and master the technique, start off with no power, just placement. And then you progress and progress, okay? So now I'm going to show you how to start the spike off just for bringing it up and bringing it down, okay? And then we're going to progress into the power. So I think for me, my teaching, when I go for a spike, I just want to really keep your hand up and then just guide it down. If you could just practice doing this, when the ball come up, just bring it down, okay? So I just put my hand down. Okay, so look, of course, you gotta worry about how you position your hand or where it's hitting on your hand. So for me, I kinda like cup it down a little bit, but not too much, just to bring that little arch down, like this. If you see my hand, that's what I do. And it works for me. So now I'm gonna add some, that was just me putting it in, not adding no power. So this one I'm gonna try to add power into it, so you'll see the difference. Okay, so again, when you first on the spike and you don't have a spike and you wanna develop it, just put it up and glide it down. Okay, you gotta move your feet inward as well. Because if the ball is coming up, you gotta follow it. Don't just stand still. Follow the ball and get over the ball. Like when the ball's up here, then you bring it in. So if the ball is moving and shifting, say if somebody brings you to the right or to the left, you still gotta follow it. So your footwork has to be included. Don't just stand there, okay? See how I'm waiting for the ball to come up, and I'm also moving as the ball is approaching. Alright guys, so now we're going to talk about how to perfect the lob. A lot of people have trouble or maybe don't even have that in your arsenal. So lob is really key. So what you want to do is, a lot of times people meet the lob, well the ball head on. Let me show you, like that. That's the wrong thing to do. What you want to do is get right under the ball, That's the way you lift the ball out, like this. That's the way you get a good lob. And also, you want to basically hit it as high as possible to the top of the wall and soar. I'm gonna show you that. And another thing is you want to get your knees as low as possible, but not too low, but get that little bend going on just so that way you can elevate that ball. So you want to hit the ball in anywhere here. That's the best lob you can possibly get. If you hit anything outside of that and before that, it'll be a 7. that concludes the wrap up of our training session. So just to go over the recap, so we focus on the right way to run in on the weak side, get in position. We follow by hands up, just putting the ball back on the wall, followed by progressing into going for shots and lobbing the ball, pushing them back on defense. And we also worry about the spike. And then we also got the passing shot. This is a lot of tips you need to put in your arsenal because a lot of times people have trouble on the weak side. This can help you tremendously, okay? And also, lastly, we worry about the lobs, to push them back from the defense. How you need to be able to, when you're on the return serve, push them back so you can run it, all right? Take care, and I hope this helped y'all. More tips ahead, okay? Alright guys, don't forget to like this page, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with a friend. Feel me?